Alright, finally we're up and running, guys. Hey, what is going on? We are going to do some artwork today. Give me a moment here to check in on my signal so that I can see where we are at. I'm pressing my channel. I'll get to... if you want to skip forward a minute, I'll get into it. But right now, I'm just checking on my stuff. Skip forward a minute, I'll get into it. Yeah. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. So it looks like I'm coming through loud and clear. I just need to do the quick social media posts. And then we'll put in about an hour worth of artwork this morning. We do artwork Monday through Fridays in the morning like this. And we do game design on Mondays and Thursday nights, including last night's. And we also do game design Saturday morning, so we'll be back tomorrow morning to do that as well. And typically we do playtesting on my Discord server, which is linked down below, on Saturday afternoons. So if you're interested in the kind of stuff that I've been doing here on the channel, you are welcome to participate. Be welcome to jump on in. And all right, I'm done with my social media posts. Hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them, I publish them online, and we're creating an adventure for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition 2024 rules. Crystals in my bar. It's for, in the Eberron campaign setting, we're fighting demons, undead, and necromancers in the Carnwood of Karrnath on the continent of Corvair. And I've never published an adventure before. I've been DMing for 38 years, almost 39 years now. And I've been creating content on the DMsGuild since 2017, and I've been an Eberron enthusiast since 2004. Excuse me. But I've never published anything specifically for Eberron, so I'm working on that process literally right now. So let's see, got lines and stuff going on here. This is that 16:9 format. That we're using for digital devices. This is I don't see colors, so I don't print any of my stuff, so I don't have to worry about print proofing because I can't. So I just work in the digital medium. Luckily, PDFs are the thing on DMsGuild. So 16:9 format fits on your phone, fits on your tablet, your screen, and then vertically each column is also 16:9. So you can look at this one page at a time or one column at a time. The whole thing is hyperlinked. These are navigation buttons along the bottom. If you click one, it'll take you to that section of the adventure. All the maps are hyper navigatable, so if you click on a room on a map, it'll jump you to the page where that room is detailed. And then you can use the navigation bar to hop back to the dungeon that you're currently inside of already. It makes it super easy. All the monsters are in an appendix that are also hyper linked, so to be able to look at whenever you want to click on them. All these, the Nexus Chamber, if you click on that, it'll take you to that room the same as if you were to click on the map. So it's highly tactile and meant to be thumbed through to be able to run the adventure. So wherever the characters go, you can just click along with where they're going to have that page of reference available. It's control panel, so all the information that you need about a particular area, encounter, or creature is on the same page. So if you want to know about the Nexus Chamber, it'll own that page where the Nexus Chamber is written. That's where it'll detail the Nexus Chamber. And then if the Nexus Chamber is unique because it has sub areas inside of it. So when you click Nexus Chamber, it takes you to the map of the chamber. And then when you click the areas of the map on the chamber, that will then also drop you into its individual pages. So super hyper navigatable. I'm loving building this. It was a joy to create this with Andy Healy, who does a lot of Call of Cthulhu adventure stuff, and Stuart Braz, who is the librarian, is a strong Eberron librarian. So he was able to provide us with clarifications on different plot points and background stuff, like cultural stuff with Eberron in general, as well as doing some great proofreading and doing excellent structural editing. The way that the adventure is organized is, I won't bother you with the history, but this is so much more intuitive than how I had originally thought to approach designing this adventure. So worth every penny. Stuart Braz, he's your guy. So right now we're doing vignettes. These are little, after the adventure is written, all the blah-de-blah and all the editing and everything is done, we drop them into the pages during the page layout phase of the book production. And when we have like little gaps like this, we don't worry about it. It's just an eye rest. But when they're big like this, they're an eyesore. It's too big of a blank space for us to just leave empty. I should drop this all into a folder anyway. Let's do that. See, it's garish. It's out of balance. So we are dropping these little vignettes that we put in are flavor text. They allow us to just provide some visual texture for the DM to get a vibe about how things look in this adventure, so that they can use their own descriptive terms to explain what they're looking at or what they're imagining as a result of like association. So various illustrations throughout the book are just scenery or environmental pieces, just so that you can get a breadth of what the area is like. So this is us making a in this section of the adventure. One of the optional encounters that the DM can include in the adventure to pad it for more experience, to gain levels, or to hit another story beat. This particular example is Glyphs of Warding. Throughout the final dungeon where the Nexus is being performed, it's it can be a combat mission, it can be a stealth mission, it can be a social mission, depending on what you've set up during the rest of the adventure. And then depending on what level of warning the facility has been in the past, there will be different glyphs of warding set up at different defensive and strategic points throughout the facility. So the more on alert they are, the more glyphs there's going to be. The more relaxed or the more smoothly operations have been going, the less runes there will be. But there's always a rune on the teleportation circle, because they specifically turned off the teleportation circle to prevent people from dropping into the facility unannounced. So that is their top priority. If anyone messes with the teleportation circle, Glyph of Warding spell set to set an alarm in Karen the Enchantress's. Karen's the one that's setting all the glyphs in her spare time. So an alarm will go off in her head, and she'll know someone's fucking with my teleportation circle, and then she can send sentries over to go, kill you. So, but it's just a glyph. It's hidden. So if you're looking for traps, you'll find it, and if you don't find it, the DM can then decide, is there a glyph there or not. You can have your quantum ogre. Do I think right now, dropping a bunch of bad guys and alerting the entire facility that you were there, is that going to increase the tension and fun, or is that not? Or are we still trying to mess around with sneak? And so the DM doesn't have to reveal if there's a glyph there until you decide, I think having a glyph here would be a good idea. And you're always welcome to drop glyphs in anywhere that you want, but the areas that I outlined are what I think are strong strategic points throughout the facility. That also might be if the team decides to take it over as a bastion of their own after the adventure is completed, that becomes a reference point or suggestions that the DM can make about installing glyphs.
Hey, what's going on, Dragon? I haven't dropped by in a while. I'm glad that you're here.
Well, hey, I'm glad that you could swing by. No one is ever beholden to me. I just appreciate folks coming through and having a good time. So I'm glad that you're back. I'm glad that you're capable of being back. That, from what you said, sounds like you've gained a degree of control over your circumstances again, and that is always to be celebrated. I think this is a little bit too extended. I'm not taking the line art very seriously right now, and I probably should. I'm acting like it's important. But I haven't actually made the line art important. It's crap. So what I really need to do is stop fucking around with the color. The color is fine. We'll be able to add highlights and shadows to this as we do. What I really need to be doing is getting serious about the fucking line art. So let me get into serious business. We'll do that. Ooh, I do have these things going, so I can at least break them down into components. There and there and there and there. So all this business goes up here. Bloop, bloop. Nope, that was wrong. Like that. Bloop. And then bloop, bloop, bloop. Right? Wrong. I see your text.
I'm in the process of setting up for. Oh, right on. I'm not the DM, but the DM trusts me. Plus, they will heavily modify.
Yeah, right on. Cool, right on. What you guys?
Vecna, Eye of Ruin. But I got them about the DMs. Oh, look at you. Right on, man. Everyone at the DM Guild thanks you kindly. It's been real rough with all the AI and bad vibes about wizards. DM's Guild is definitely taking a hit. I never made a ton of money on DM's Guild. It wasn't, it's nice to get paid as a pat on the back for the stuff that you do, but it's not my income. It's not my daily job. I don't. This is server money. This is Adobe Photoshop money. This is beer money. And taking my gal out to eat occasionally. That's the kind of stuff that I do with the money that I earn from DM's Guild. But some people made a career out of it, maybe foolishly, definitely hopefully. And anyone that wants to support the DM's Guild is supporting legitimately good people trying to do legitimately good stuff. So thank you for that on behalf of all of us. Just drop to black. And oh, geez, thank you. Hey, oh my God, thank you so kindly. I love Spelljammer, dude. If you've got time on Saturday mornings, I'm the campaign that I've been building on Mondays and Thursday nights. I'm looking for a steady team that can commit to a Saturday for like 8 months. That no harm, no foul if it's not you, but people that appreciate my stuff and understand it, those people will be able to be far more useful far more quickly. But I am also not a big hit, so there's not a lot of us out there. So if you're interested, drop into the Discord and let me know. Right on, right. Oh, right. Fair enough, my man. Well, at least you're getting some education. Well, if you find yourself on break and you want to kick on through, you are most welcome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Mecha Kaiju adventuring. That's just the next natural step of evolution for that Spelljammer combat and exploration mechanics. We do what we must because we can, Let's fade that down a little bit more. You haven't caught any of those streams? I'm guessing. It has been a while, my dude. And if you're at university, it explains why you're flooded. Jesus. I remember being in college was a hot mess. Best days of my life, but oh boy, I burned the candle in 3 directions. Let's do like that. That feels natural. I mean, mecha are so easy with that. All the ships and fighter craft are shaped like animals, so just make them people shaped instead, and then give them really big weapons. You're pretty much good to go. Easy, it's easy. The weapon scaling by size is a little different from what's published for vessels and craft in the book. Because adding in weapons with very the damage for the most part for the weapons in the Spelljammer book for melee weapons is basically based on the size of your ship and what type of damage it deals. But weapons actually making 30-foot swords, 20-foot pikes, 40-foot hammers, that has all those have those different damage types from the 5-foot scale. So we had to reinterpret scaling melee and ranged weapon damage for these different types of super gargantuan weapons that we're using to fight kaiju with. The kaiju can use the same scaling system, so it's less binary like the shipment, like the siege weapons and ship melee damage is very static. It's very consistent. It's just based on the size of your ship. It doesn't take into account variable weapons like hatchets and crossbows and stuff like that. They all have different damage size when characters are using them. However, like Outlaw Star, the anime Outlaw Star, if you've seen it, they had grappling limbs. The Scorpion ship has grappling claws. But once we get these mecha mechanics locked down, you can start installing prosthetic arms onto your ships. So you could have a flying fish that has a pair of manipulating arms that it would be able to pick up and carry weapons with, or can equip tools, or can be used to pull heavy loads. So that turns us into like construction mecha. So like if you have a utility craft that's like 30 feet in size with hauler arms attached to it, it can just basically be like a floating platform, like a floating forklift. That if you take a Warforged docent and you plug it in, it'll animate and power the forklift, and it can move around, and it can use its prosthetic limbs to pick up and manipulate stuff, grab ore, dump it into a trawl. So that's like some of the float between once you have mecha that are human shaped, and you already have craft and ships that are animal shapes, you can start blending them together for utility. It's like you could have like a night spider ship that instead of having 8 legs that act as spears, instead it has like 50-foot grappling arms that just fold up underneath it until they're needed, and they unfurl and they start grabbing people and pulling them in, kind of like the tentacles that the Illithid have on their ships, but more humanish, you know. Anyway, I'm rambling, but that's some of the cool shit that we can do with it. So like, it's super fun. Star Trek Grapplers. I have not seen Star Trek Grapplers. Early ships in the timeline had a sort of grappling hook. It could shoot at stuff instead of using it. Oh my god, that's hysterical. I had no idea that's what their past was like. Yeah, if you've seen it, go check out Outlaw Star. It's on YouTube somewhere or whatever. But it was anime, space pirate anime, and one of the gimmicks was that all the ships had utility limbs to help them be able to manipulate stuff in space, and they became grappling weapons to board and raid each other's ships. So similar. Star Trek Enterprise. Oh my God! I never. That was the Scott Bakula series, right? I only watched a little bit of that. It wasn't on my actual roster of shows to watch when it was out. I didn't watch a lot of TV. Oh yeah, right on. Dungeon Mesh is cool. That's too flat. I need a little bit of a bend down here. I want to thicken up that volume a little here, and then we'll be able to just rake in extra pages. Extra pages is more of a decal, like we do the base color and the lighting, and then we shave page side pages into the piece. We'll get there. Depending on what my schedule looks like on Saturday, we might not have playtesting on Saturday. I don't think we have a stable. We might not have enough people to be able to effectively run a game. And if that's the case, then I reclaim my time. So I've started streaming color mechanics on Saturday mornings, and then when I'm done streaming, jump on to play, to DM my playtest stuff. But if playtesting collapses tomorrow, and it happens occasionally, I believe in everybody. It's just timing's always a little bit of a bitch. So sometimes we don't get to. But so if it collapses tomorrow, like I anticipate it collapsing, that's just going to give me an extra 4 hours of production time for me to get more stuff done for the Eberron book. I see text. Second to last episode is a way better finale. Oh, right on. Yeah. Have you seen Mystic Art's new Dungeon Turns? Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big believer in it. The last mega dungeon that we play tested, I kept it in like literal round by round initiative through the entire adventure because I wanted to stay focused in action economy. But if I were to run a dungeon in real time, like a not a playtest dungeon, but an actual campaign, I'm a big fan of Dungeon Turns. I'm a little more ubiquitous with the current campaign that we're running is Everyone is in initiative all the time, and so you wait your turn, and when it's your turn, you tell me what you want to do, whether we're in or out of combat. That makes scaling those turns very easily. And then essentially everyone has the way that I'm running it currently is everyone has a turn, and then I, as a DM, I do dungeon processing on time and events to see if anything crops up. So everyone gets a turn in rotation, and most of the time, I'm not if it's like a 2 and a 6, something weird's gonna happen. Basically, every 3 turns that they have on average, the dungeon's going to respond to them somehow. So, and then those turns are naturally 10 minutes. 10 minutes is just such a natural pace. And if you get in combat, the combat takes place inside of that turn. So, like, you're in combat, that's the only thing you're doing this turn. So, very, very easy to pace. That is very old school. I actually was on his Discord talking about the poison effect of this dungeon, how it works, how it paces basically every 6 dungeon turns that you spend inside of the manifest zone. It forces you to make another Constitution saving throw, and that's a really good example of a timer that is spooling along with your turns. You know that you might get another degree of poison every 6 turns, every 6 dungeon turns. So how far can you get in before you have to back out? The poison goes away as soon as you get fresh air. If you spend, you have to spend a short rest in fresh air, and a short rest can be 1 turn. So 10-minute short rest allows you to recover. That might be too tight. You could decide to make it every 10 turns you can take a short rest. However you want to pace it, but converting turns into short rests is a really good way to go if you have a high resource. Like if you're playing like first, second, third level, you can have your characters get short rests more often so that they can recover more inside the dungeon, so they can sustain longer if you wanted to. Higher level with long rest resources on full casters and stuff makes that less necessary overall. But you can also pace your marshals differently from your half casters and your full casters. Your full casters might only get they might be on gritty realism, where they only get 1 long rest per week, and they get a short rest once per day, and they always get mana back equal their spell level on the short rest. Your half casters may get a short rest per hour, and limit them to, like, say 2 per long rest. And your marshals can take a short rest as a 1-minute ritual, which paces with the new Warlock recovery, and that's right. The monk by nature doesn't have that recovery. The Warlock does, but that's okay. It paces. The Artificer has a ritual as well, I think, but it allows them to pace along with the marshals. So that's a really easy way to pace resources along with dungeon turns. And that feels wrong. I'm gonna leave that like that. This is gonna be off the page. We're gonna erase this. That's not really necessary. This, however, is necessary. So I'm gonna add the spine here. I see text. And let's go there. You see how I'm leaning in? It's because I'm having to think. I should really zoom. There. There's no artifacts and raise the bed. Apparently there's no artifact that raise the bed. What do you mean raise the bed? If instead the characters choose to explore Area 14, Nexus Chamber, see confronting Karen and the Houndsman below. If the characters choose diplomacy while wounded or without their equipment, roll with disadvantage. I see. Oh, you're talking about our text. Sorry. Got it. There's a typo in the Dungeoneering rules.
Glass steel in the flavor text. Raise the bed. Also scroll slowly. About the Dragon Delves glass steel stuff. Oh, right. Glass steel is cool, man. I dig it. Fun resource. It makes everything feel. It creates a modernality, like an alternate technology sort of modern feel to D&D stuff if you use glass steel a lot as a building material. Like glass steel in Ravnica totally makes sense. Like with all the 500 story tall towers that they have, just covering them in glass steel it's just good flavor. Let's skew this a little bit so it lines up. Perfect. See, simple book, not too complicated, a little rough. But I like this. I think I'm good. That's over exaggerated. I need to bring this in more like that. Still a little rough. This will clean up when we drop in the color and merge it. We can smooth this out. It'll resolve. What's up? My character just got given a scroll of no customs. Oh, interesting. His mind is going to blow. He's lightning rail when he does. Nice. I'm not familiar with that spell. Is that homebrew or from a supplement? Sounds very utilitarian. I think it would have been more fun if a lot of spells in D&D were designed around skill challenges. Like when you cast this spell, you can initiate this skill challenge, and it gives you bonuses on particular die rolls during that challenge or whatever, and then depending on the degrees of success in the challenge determines the effectiveness of the spell. Like for divination spells specifically, like legend lore and identify and stuff like that. I think that would have been a more fun way to do it than to just have a static, advantageous, like know the answer immediately for free, sort of like I press this button and then I know information. I think leaning into the ability check system would have felt better. Like being a rogue, a multi-class rogue caster would have then been really, really interesting, and like would have been able to develop like really interesting like investigator classes. So if I were to do my own 5e, I'll probably take everything that could realistically be a ritual and then convert all of them into skill challenges. And the limitation would be if you can't roll higher than the previous casting, like you'll keep a floating DC on it equal to the results of your prior casting. So it ratchets up the more you use it, and then it resets when you gain a new level. So if you roll a 27 on an arcane lore check when you're using the identify spell, you can't use it again until you can purge that, unless you can roll above a 27 or purge the 27. Like maybe you could spend spell points to buy down the cost of the DC again, so you can recharge the ritual. That way, you'd have to be like, how many spell points out of my budget today do I want to dedicate to combat and adventuring, or how much do I want to pay down my divination debt? That's an interesting system. If you were just to make players roll everything, you could use a spell point system to like make attack, like you have to make attack, you have to roll DC for like instead of forcing saving throws, you make attack rolls against everything. So everything is an attack roll. Like players roll all dice system. And in spellcasting, that the spellcasting is either an attack roll or it's a skill challenge to cast the spell. So all your combat stuff is just going to be attack rolls, but everything out of combat becomes a skill challenge. And so you can combo different character classes together to gain different, like a fighter wizard, right? A Gish. If they're using a ritual and they have to make their ability check, the Gish, the fighter side could use their second wind to gain that D10 plus their level to the stat roll, so that you can hit the DC on the ritual that you needed to cast the spell. So having a gritty martial character with some multi-classing in there gives you more likely success in ability checks. So like casters don't get a lot of advantages and stuff in ability checks because they have their spell point resource. So they can do these things, but they can't do them well. People that they either combine their work with or multi-class into would be able to achieve better spell rolls because the martials are all about succeeding ability checks. And then you have the hybrids, which have a little bit of both. So like a paladin would be able to perform divine rituals well because the paladin would have access to ramping their skill checks with like religion and stuff like that. No Customs is an older official spell updated from 5e. Oh my god! Back in the alphabet. Oh my god! The days. There was an entire encyclopedia of spells that were built. They included the spells that exist in the player's handbook and blah blah blah, but they added in fuckloads of new spells. So it was A to Z, all spells A to Z. And I think WYZ may have been combined in the same book. I don't recall specifically. I remember picking up 2 or 3 of them, and I'm like, I'm not gonna. After realizing I didn't use most of the spells in the book, I stopped buying them. But God, I respect the project. And I know, I can't remember the name of the dude that was doing it, but he was translating all the spells on DMsGuild. When I stopped paying attention, I think he had gotten to L, maybe M, somewhere around mid back in alphabet. I don't know if he actually ever finished the series or not. And I'm curious if he did. Up to M. Thank you. It's been a while. Yeah, right on. What was the name of that guy? I can't remember him. It's he introduced me to the DM's Discord originally, and I feel ashamed that I can't remember his name offhand. But I think he's moved on for the most part from 5e into I think it is Shadow Dark stuff. Kabooter, thank you. Yes, Kabooter. Can't remember the name of the designer. I'll figure it out. That perspective feels off. This feels like the correct perspective. But if I do that, I have to match that perspective like this. And that feels fucking wrong. So I think I'm just gonna blip that out. Well, I hope so. That would be a hell of a bucket list sort of thing to do to finish all of the entire series. Holy Hannah. All right, let's see about adding some lines and stuff in here. What time is it? It's 7:00. Okay, we still got 20 minutes. We're doing good. Like that. You? Sticks to snakes. Oh my god, so classic. So the original summoning spell. It used to be it was like a 3rd level spell. You take some sticks, you throw them on the ground, and they become snakes. So they start attacking you. You now have a mob of snakes attacking your character. or whatever. Super useful spell. Fun. Let's do this. There, and I'm going to have to skew. That's free transform. Skew. Like that. And what I should do is free transform, warp, and bend this down. Like that. Timely timer, keeping time. I think that'll, it's a little off. I'll catch up with you in a second. I'm having to whinge on this for a minute. Zoom in, Kearney. You know what? Fuck this. Lead skin. Nice. Let's make it this big. Free transform. Skew. Free transform size. Distort. About like that. I think that's the angle I want there, and then and then perspective. There, that'll do. And there, and then we'll go select, modify, contract by, let's say, 3 pixels, delete. There you go. Circle. Well, fuck me. Now that we know that we can do it, I should actually just make a circle. And okay, so we've learned what to do. Now we have to do it again. Let's go like this, and then select here, and then let me catch up with you as soon as I finish this circle. Select, modify, contract, 4, delete, pop. Interesting. I remember radiation. I think it was in Book of Layers 2 that had radiation as a condition. Let's select, modify, contract by 6, and then select, modify, contract by 4, and then delete. That'll do. Put a point there. I'm gonna put another point here. I'm gonna put another point here. Put a point here, put a point here. I see this is off. Still a little off. Oh boy, this is gonna drive me crazy. Do you see the crazy? It's already starting. Fucking, why did I decide to do a pentagram inside of a circle? Fucking idiot. I think this will hit it. Not bad. It's going to be tilted, so it'll be fine. I need to do... let's actually transform. Rotate. I can actually probably get this resolved. Probably something like this. It's off. Transform. Flip horizontal. That'll work. Merge down. I believe the maps the settings affect the eye of ruins so the DM can do what they want. Yeah, right on, man. Nice. Let's see. How else do I want to do? Let's go look at D&D 5e Abjuration Glyph. Symbol. Thank you. Trim that down. Trim that down. All these glyphs of warding have alarms set into them, so that they ping in Karen's head that there's somebody fucking around with wherever this thing is laid. Copy paste, retransform. Flip horizontal. There we go. Merge down. Yeah, pretty simple. I don't think it needs to be more complicated than that. Duplicate. Bring that one over there. There we go. Take care of you later. Since we have the duplicated glyph, we can have it. We're transposing. This is illustrating making a spell scroll. So we're transposing the spell in the spell book to the scroll. That'll also have the same spell. So we need to duplicate everything. There you go. I'm basically just copying this page onto the scroll to make the magic. Moon on the horizon, glyph of... It's a lower power version of Glyph of Warding and can only be cast on books. Oh, fun! Oh, that's neat. I like that. I would immediately want to put that on armor, and have the trigger condition be when I touch it, cast heal, and then be a rogue with fast hands, so I can object interaction. I can utilize as an object interaction or a bonus action. That's right. So any spell wards, any spell glyphs that were on me, I could be able to pop off and trigger. Well, then add a level and we'll make it. I mean, you could already do glyphs of warding and put them. Well, no, that's right. Glyphs of warding. I think you can put a glyph of warding on an object and you can pick up. No, you can't. The object has to stay still, doesn't it? I like the portable version better. Not gonna lie. Okay, free train. Oh no, we want to skew. And then skew some more. Again, we're lining it up with the edge of the book here. And then free transform to bring down the size. Oh, interesting that it's flattening it like that. Huh, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's really interesting. I'm holding down the control button. It's allowing me a lot of... it's like turning it into the distort function instead of skew. That's interesting. Let's keep bringing it in. Sorry, I have to concentrate on this part. Oh my god, that's so useful. The control button has saved my life. And then a little bit of perspective. A little bit of free transform. A little bit of skew again. And let's go to distort. Think about like that. What happens if I flip it? Oh no, this will work out. This will work out. Hold on, let me grab along here. Cut there. Merge down. Sorry, I'll catch up in a sec. Merge down, drop in. This'll do it. Skew. And then transform. Reduce the size. Transform. Skew. Distort. There we go. Ah, damn it, you offset. That'll do. So a little bit of bend in it. Just a little bit of bend. That feels pretty good. I think I can be happy with that. Merge down. All right. Reward myself. Catch up. Casting on other stuff should be higher than first level it is right now. Yeah, I think so. But boy, how useful. Super fun. In third edition, they had a magic item that was in the Complete Adventurers. The book was called Complete Adventurer, and I'm going to do some lines here to set pace, and it had spell traps, and it was like a magic item that you can make, just like a template, where it was like basically an expanded glyph of warding. So it could be beneficial or detrimental. You could have it set conditions for like anyone steps in this space or anyone touches the glyph, it activates, or blah blah blah. This isn't working out the way that I want it to. I'm going to grab this and let's just do some blocking. we block in the area, we can divide it into text. I don't want to get. I mean, we're talking it's very small, so I don't actually have to do like an alphabet or anything on this thing. But I do want to have squiggles and shit, and I need to have them lined up properly. So I'm building a box that I can segregate into strips, and then I can put squiggles into the strips, and then make the strips go away and just leave the squiggles, and the squiggles will be, you know, text, but there'll be a lining with the book. And somehow I have put this on the same layer as the actual book page, and that's not a good idea. Let's fix that. There, and cut that free, drop it back in. There. Text? Hey, cool, right on, man. Yeah, drop it into the Discord. That's starting to feel better. Let's erase this line. This feels pretty good. It just gets a little distorted when it comes over this ridge. So let's clean it up a little bit. That's a little off. It should be about here. That's a little off. How can I hit? I need to hit this mark. There we go. That worked. Line that up. I think this needs to curve down a little bit. This, I think, needs to expand a bit. Got about 10 minutes left, I think. There, that feels pretty good. And then a little bit more bend to the page. There. And then we can take this and push it down. There. And now we want to curve this a little bit better. Now we've got a basis for our box. Come on, buddy, get in there. Good. Now, this doesn't have to be too good. It can be rough. Now I want to make, what do we want to do? Like that. Can we keep this going? That feels pretty good. Not the best. Let's try fixing that. This is the right point. I got that right. And this is the right point. I got that right. Let's find a midpoint. That'd be about here. And let's find a midpoint, which is going to be about here and about there. So let's use that as our tracking point. There you go. Yeah, that worked out well. Okay, so those, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. That's probably not enough, but whatever. Let's reduce this here. We can now get rid of that. And that's a page. I can drop this down. They're very transparency. And then we'll start doodling in some worded stuff. Posted to make it cool. Thank you. I will happily take a look later. Uh-oh. My timer's going off. I'm gonna finish this fake text, and then I'm gonna have to call it for the day, and then we'll come back. I suspect I'm going to finish this illustration over the weekend, just as a mental break from doing page layout stuff. But if for some reason I don't, we'll come back and we'll finish this on Monday. And we're going to be back tomorrow morning to work on more color mana spell point variant rules stuff and martial powers. I don't know exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to do some sort of. I'm starting to get ready to build the book. I want to update spell point variant rules. The books I want to prioritize once this Eberron adventure is done is updating color mana to 2024 mechanics and the Bastion campaign. So I don't know how I'm going to parse that, what schedule I'm going to build to work on each one of them. And it's going to be design work, so it's like writing. So I'll be arguing with text and typing stuff around. And a lot of that stuff I do off screen, but I'm about to run out of production cycle on this book, and I don't have another book ready to go behind this one. So I have a gap of art in the morning, and I don't want to convert my morning art stream into a text production stream because I need the art time. I need art time for my brain to stay, keep my folds. It's easy enough. It creates. It's like AI garbage. If anyone zooms in, it's like, did you do this AI? It's like, no. Go check stream number 441. But it's fun making up BS text like that. This line art is pretty rough for the book. But this is looking about right. This is how I wanted it, and I am out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and cut stream here. Let's add the color back in, just for the joy of paint. Blip and blip. I feel compelled to clean up my line here. There. Better. Damn it, I'm stuck. Muse isn't letting me go. She's like, no, fill that in. You'll feel better. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'll have at least a sense of completion if I tag this. So I'm going to go ahead and tag this real quick. Text. What would my wizard name be? Huh? If I had one. Like not Phil? Because I'm Phil. So if I wasn't Phil, I was somebody else, who would I be? Like, what would be the name of my wizard character? My sorcerer's name is Lostir. My fighter rogue's name is Akoti. Phil the Wise. when I played Mafia Wars on Facebook, it was Philosophy Kills. So call me Philosopher. Philosopher. That's me. I'm a philosopher. I'd probably have a better name. That's a silly name. If we're going with joke names, Philosopher for sure. If that was the name of my mystic in Shadow Dark. I don't know what would be a cool wizard's name. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna go with Phil. I'm gonna figure out my spell can use stuff. I'm right on. All right, I gotta go. But yeah, this is where we're at. This is how we're going along. This is what we're gonna be. I'll put in a texture for the table. But yeah, I mean, it's a stupid little illustration. We're gonna have to block this off. All of this is gonna go away, but it's there for context to add it in. So yeah, simple little piece, little vignettes like this. We have 6 more after this one. So I'll probably finish this one over the weekend so we can start a new piece on Monday. And with any luck, we'll be finished by I want to be done by Valentine's Day, but I'm not gonna hurt myself if I don't. But it's just a goal to put a goal on the board. So have it published by Valentine's Day, 2/14. It's 2 weeks from now. So hence why I was looking for a name to. Oh, I see. Well, God bless you, man. I don't have a good answer offhand. Like I said, I'm playing a divine sorcerer named Lostere, Lostere. If you're interested in that as a name, I'd take it. Okay, I gotta cut out of here. I don't know. Maybe we can brainstorm or something. But thanks for the credit offer. I'm gonna kick out of here. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll be back tomorrow morning early like this to work on color mana stuff, and we'll see where the day takes us. See you on the other side.